Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mag. So of course this is my prediction for the upcoming England game, which is of course today, 1 o'clock here in the UK, 4 o'clock out in the Middle East at of course Qatar, and hopefully England can get off to a flyer against Iran. It's going to be an interesting game, of course, obviously because it's the first game of the tournament, so you don't know really how teams are going to play. There's quite a lot of people, saying that England will absolutely walk this game against Iran. We should walk this game against Iran because of course, the fact that it is Iran. Then it's not exactly like we're playing Germany here or Brazil or France or Spain. We're playing Iran. But at the end of the day, we can't be going into this game uh, in that kind of mindset. We do need to be careful. At the end of the day, we're playing in a climate where, quite a few England players haven't played before. Obviously, the likes of the Newcastle lads in the group, all lads in the group like Trippier, Nicky Pope, and Wilson have played in the Middle East before. When we went away on the uh, fitness training out in Saudi Arabia. So, of course, all lads have played out there before. But for other lads, like Harry Kane, Harry Maguire, other lads like that, they haven't played there before. So, the heat could be a factor for them. But saying that, they are quite up on that already, as we found out yesterday when the World Cup kicked off, of course, with the host nation losing to Ecuador in the first game. And of course, we did say that there's plenty of technology around the pitch, for air conditioning, to make sure that the pitch stays at a very reasonable 27 degrees, which out in the Middle East, that is a pretty amazing, to get it to that kind of temperature. We're talking about countries here where, they are literally in the middle of a desert, so it gets very, very hot out there, as we all know, but this is going to be an interesting game. Hopefully, England get off to a flyer against Iran. Like I say, it's a 1 o'clock kickoff here in the UK, 4 o'clock kickoff out there in the Middle East, and hopefully, like I say, the lads can get off to a flyer in the game. I'd like to see Nicky Pope start from the off as the number one choice for England. I think he fully deserves it. Obviously, I'm biased at the end of the day because I'm a Newcastle United fan, but you know, he fully deserves the number one spot for what he's been doing this season in goal for us. He's by far the best goalkeeper in the Premier League out of English goalkeepers, of course. Once you start adding in other goalkeepers, he's maybe the second best goalkeeper in the league, I would say, behind Edison of Man City. But when you're just looking at it by English goalkeepers, then Nicky Pope is definitely by far the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. So for that, I would say he gets the number one spot, and hopefully Southgate respects, that, and gives him the number one spot. Kieran Trippier, I would say, definitely comes in at right back. Obviously, we'll see the likes of Harry Kane up front. Probably say Harry Maguire in the centre back role as well, which I'm not the biggest fan of, to be honest, because he hasn't really been doing well for Man United. So does he really get the starting game? Yes, he might be all right for England, of course, but does he get the starting game because of that alone? I think we should be going with people that have played games this season already. But I've talked about this on my previous video when I was talking about the squad being announced. But let us know your thoughts, of course, on that down in the comments below. But I just want to see, England go into this game, put in a good performance, get 3 points in the bag, and then let's move on to the next game after this one, which of course is against the USA. And let's just try and make it as far through as we can. I did do a prediction video on where I think England will go, so do go check that out. But it's going to be an interesting World Cup. I know there's quite a lot of people not too interested in this World Cup, but let's not forget at the end of the day, no matter where it's being held, it's still the World Cup. It's still football. It's the only football we've got until the Premier League returns. So let's just enjoy for what it is, and let's just embrace, this World Cup, and like I say, enjoy for what it is and move with it, and hopefully, it will be a good tournament. The opening game was pretty decent. Yes, the first goal of the game, in the first goal of the tournament, of course, was disallowed for a very strange offside. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's for, and it's always going to be a dodgy one, especially when you've got some dodgy people running it as well. But at the end of the day, like I say, it's going to be an interesting tournament. See where teams finish. If you want to hear me predictions on where the teams finish, do go check out the predictions video. But I'm going for England to win this game against Iran. And I'm going to go with England to win this game 3-0 against Iran. Hopefully Kieran Trippier bagging a goal in the game as well. Kieran Trippier over the wall. And hopefully we'll get a see as well. Maybe Callum Wilson come off the bench to play in the game, unless Harry Kane is going to maybe sit on the bench from the off. I doubt it, because Southgate is one of them sticklers for playing Harry Kane from the off. We all know he loves to play Harry Kane, but hopefully we do see at some point for us Newcastle United fans, Kieran Trippier getting, Callum Wilson getting the game. Obviously Kieran Trippier will get the game, but Callum Wilson getting the game as well. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. I'm going for England to win against Iran, and I'm going to say 3-0. Kieran Trippier bagging a one in them goals as well. Obviously Harry Kane probably banging in another, and whoever else plays, it's at this moment in time pretty unpredictable what Southgate's starting lineup will be. But there was an image circulating around on the net last night of what the lineup could be. So if I can find that image, I will put it up for anybody that hasn't seen it. It was circulating around Twitter last night, but I'll put it up on screen anyway if I can find the image. If not, then hopefully it is a decent lineup that Southgate goes with against Iran, and hopefully doesn't go too cautious, too soft in the opening game. We want to see England go in there. We want to see a good performance from the get-go. Let's try and impress as much as we can in this tournament. We're coming off the back of the Euros, where we made it right the way at the final at Wembley as well, and we ended up losing out because of a penalty shootout, which should never had to take place, because we should have won the game if not for that Chiellini foul on Saka. But that's in the past now. This is a different international tournament. Let's see how England can do in this. Till next time, I'll see you all later, and however, lads.